Ciao a tutti, benvenuto all'Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. Hello everybody, welcome to the spectacular, the famous Monza circuit in Italy. It's the second race weekend of the 2017 FIA World Touring Car Championship. I'm Martin Haven, and first and foremost, I'd like to apologise for my Italian. Sitting alongside me, Matt Neal, the man who doesn't trifle with getting mangled words in foreign languages. Matt, what a circuit. We're back at Monza for the first time in 4 seasons and expecting an entertaining qualifying session because slipstreaming might be key here.
That's right, Martin. It's one of the classic old-school circuits where it's just a flat-out blast between the chicanes, but it makes for a fantastic race and always has produced monumental World Touring Car rounds here. So it is, as you say, it's going to be like a game of chess. Not just in the races, but in qualifying, where slipstreaming, you have to get a slipstream to get a fast lap. So you're going to see these guys, some working as teams, some lone wolves, like the Coronels and Huffs of this world, trying to leech onto the back of the groups and see if they can pick up a valuable slipstream.
Fastest man in second free practice, Volvo's Ted Bjerg. You can see they're doing a bit of pre-qualifying hydrating because they'll go through 3 phases of qualifying, they hope, and then straight into Mach 3. Fastest man in first free practice was Honda's Thiago Monteiro, our championship leader. Honda drivers 1-2 after the opening race weekend in Marrakesh, Morocco. Nicky Katzberg, the best of the Volvo trio, ahead of Mehdi Benani, the top independent in his Sebastian Loeb Racing Citroën. Benani's had a bit of a morning so far. Conditions could hardly be better. 3 days of hard rain, but today has been beautiful, clear and sunny. Let's hear Honda's thoughts. Alessandro Mariani is with Alex Legui.
Yeah, just having a little chat. When we spoke yesterday, you said that you were surprised. You didn't expect the speeds to be quite so good from the Hondas here.
From our experience, I didn't expect. From the experience in Monza, when we tested on different cars the new aero packaging and the new engine, combining the 2 effects, I was pretty sure to be quite good in Monza. That, as I told you before, our previous experience were dramatic. So now we have to find the right balance for the qualifying. For the race today, we made a good preparation. So now the problem is to get the best from qualifying.
And like you were saying earlier, it's like you've got great straight line speeds now, but it's now a case of getting the speeds around the corners.
The car behavior is pretty good. Looking at the sector time with the Volvo, we lose a bit in the corners, so we have to improve this aspect, knowing that we are running with a very low downforce, so we have room to improve. Ciao.
Low drag is key here, isn't it, Matt? You know, this is World Touring Cars equivalent of British Touring Cars Thruxton, where low drag and cutting through the air is much, much more important for more of the lap than being able to use that grip in the chicanes.
Well, it's interesting, Alessandro Mariani, because they've always said the Honda's ace card is the handling and in the tight and twisty stuff, and it's out of its comfort zone just by pure shape of the box shape of the car and the drag factor. So it's interesting to say, and you'd say the opposite because the Volvo's a longer, lower car. It should be better in a straight line. So here we go. Support for young Billy Munger.
Yeah, Billy Munger, those of you who don't know, had a very severe accident in a single-seater last weekend in Donington Park, and his life was saved by doctors, but not both of his legs, and there is a Just Giving site to contribute to his recovery fund. The very next day, a club racer called Craig Walker also had a very severe accident at Castle Combe in Wiltshire in a time attack car, and Craig also in a very parlous state. There's also a Just Giving site for him, and in fact Billy Munger and his parents already donated to Craig's fighting fund as well. So there's been a tremendous response from motorsporting fans, world champions of various different ilks, and of course Alessandro Zanardi's already been in touch with Billy Munger and his family, and I know that Craig Walker and his friends and family, his colleagues, would also like his support. And in fact, for anybody going to the British Touring Cars at Thruxton, there is also going to be a chance to walk the lap at the end of the day on Saturday, I believe, Matt. Pay a fiver, walk a lap of the track, and you know the money's going to a good cause, so we'd like to further that appeal if we can. Thiago Monteiro gets on board, and also on behalf of everybody here and everybody else in motorsport, send our best wishes to Billy Munger and Craig Walker, and most especially as well to the medical crews for whom, excuse me, for whom they can be very grateful for still being able to breathe, because the rescue crews in both occasions did a fantastic job to keep the two drivers in as good a state as humanly possible after what were two very, very frightening looking accidents. So our very best wishes to Billy Munger, Craig Walker, families, friends, and all of their loved ones.
Yeah, Martin, there's great support here for them both, and you know, anybody you can spare, no matter how large or small, it all adds up for the pair of them. So as I say, as you just mentioned, just giving pages, it's an easy way to try and help them in the battle that they've got in front of them.
Yes, and as Alex Zanardi has shown, it's not going to be easy, but it is definitely possible to live a very, very full life.
Nicky Katzberg definitely looks in trouble there with...
he's shrunk a bit, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about that haircut overnight.
Around his hair. Into the Van Muller.
Look at, this is Jan Erlache. Look at the helmet. The helmet is the same as Ivan and Kathy Muller's as well. That's obviously like a family thing.
He sits very high in the car, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's not a shorty though, is he? You know,
but he's not tall.
Well, he is. I mean, he's not you tall or me tall, but he's tall for a racing driver. We are almost ready then to start qualifying. Cars are ready to race. At least they're ready to qualify here in Monza. The fresh out of the tyre oven qualifying tyres go on from the blankets. Most of these drivers will have just done one relatively slow lap on them to get a heat cycle through them. We had a series of punctures in free practice 1 and 2. Left front is the one that is under all the strain here in Monza. Curva Grande through the Lesmos, the Parabolica. They're all big high-pressure corners on that left front. Green light at the end of the pit lane and everybody scrambles to go out. And the Volvos just biding their time a little, as are the Hondas, waiting for the likes of Tom Coronel, Rob Huff and the Citroens to go out so they don't have to tow them around.
Yeah, it's a question of who blinks first, isn't it? Yeah. It's like an old Mexican gunfight, but both will be working as teams, most definitely, because there is so much time. RML were the greatest exponents of slipstreaming round here in recent years, and now obviously Ronnie Hartfelt and Ivan Muller with the Volvo team, and so they'll be using those tactics, but everyone has seen them do it, you know, so well. So it's whether the Sebastian Loeb guys get together, because they are 3 individuals in a 3-car squad.
Well, John Philippi has broken first. John Philippi, sponsored by Oscaro, as is this Italian race weekend. It is the Oscaro Races of Italy, so he would love to be in the top 10, starting on the front of the first race tomorrow. Tom Coronel seeing a main chance. Right, a Citroen, yep, I'll follow him. Volvo's not quite going out together. Nicky Katzberg had 2 or 3 technical issues in FP1 and FP2. Didn't get the laps that he wanted out of the car. They had the bonnet up as everybody else was leaving, pushed the car back into the garage for a moment or two. Now he's out on track. The Honda's going out seemingly individually, because Norby's already in Curva Grande and the other 2 are just leaving the pit lane. There goes Mehdi Benani, and behind him Jan Erlache, I reckon, in the first of the RC Motorsport Ladas. He's got a new teammate this weekend, Kevin Gleeson, making his first appearance in the World Touring Car Championship. Spoke to Jan Erlache at lunchtime, said, what, have you raced around here before? He said, I've never been here before. He came in the test day, so he's done a couple of hours at Monza, but he's never raced anything here. He said, a bit of sim work, test day, but yeah, it's all still quite eye-openingly fast still. So John Philippi leading the charge. I wonder if he chose number 27 or whether that's a superstition that comes from elsewhere. 27, of course, for slightly older motorsport fans than he, was traditionally one of the Ferrari numbers and has forever been associated, particularly in Italy, with the late great Gilles Villeneuve. He was the man with whom 27 has become so closely associated.
Nice and clean through the first chicane, just what you want. Coronel's
Little wriggle on the exit curbs.
picking up a toe there. That's just a nice distance to work through.
Now, was Coronel, his brake lights coming on there or not? No, I don't think they were. Shouldn't have been, unless he was trying to give himself a little bit more bite in the brake by just riding it out of Curva Grande down to the Variante della Roggia. And both this and the first chicane may vanish if Monza is reprofiled, as current plans have it, with a chicane between the two of them. Heading up to the first of the Lesmos, and then Lesmo 2. And this is the critical exit, Matt, to get the straight down under the banking and up to Ascari, and suddenly Coronel is just a little too close for the rest of the lap.
Yeah, he's picked up with the wrong guy here. John Philippi. Coronel should come to be quicker than Philippi, so...
Well, 6/10 quicker in that first sector. Wow. Yeah, so he's hauled Philippi right in. Now he's got to get by him before the Parabolica, and this is, you know, racing for position on a quali lap. He cannot be stuck behind Philippi going into the Parabolica, but he can't get by him.
They're not teammates, so there's no reason for Philippi to give it up.
No, absolutely. Philippi's on his own hot lap. So Coronel, who's going to wash out. Look, see how much he turned earlier into the corner there, anticipating that understeer in the car, drifting out wider.
Well, that's going to cost him because he's going to be losing downforce around the Parabolica, but can he get a good toe up the start-finish straight?
Still got the fastest first sector of this trio, and a 53.8 compared to a 55.9 of Philippi. And Coronel's got to go by him here, show his nose on the inside and try and make another lap on his own, but then he'll be towing Philippi and trying to outbrake him into the first chicane, so he has to ramp it over the sausages. Who's going quickly behind? Thiago Montero, fastest first sector of all, right at the back of the group.
Yeah, it's a shame that it cost Coronel that, and it's obviously compromised him on his second lap with the approach to the first chicane. On the positive, he'd have had the best toe ever, slipstream ever, up the start-finish straight.
Norby, good first sector, fastest of all in the second sector, which ends just as you get off the brakes into Variante Ascari. You really hit the exit curbs hard. There's 68 Jan Erlache coming towards us. Then Mehdi Benani. Norby's got a toe from the Citroen, can't overcook it into the Parabolica. Matt, this corner goes on for about a week and a half, doesn't it, when you're in a car?
Yeah, it's a full 180 degrees, but Ted Borg has just pipped Coronel by 1/100th of a second, so yeah, we're going to get the second stream of guys coming through now.
In fact, not even 100th, 5,000ths of a second. Norby goes quicker by 3/10. Wow. And Mikulits Katzberg is your 1-2.
Katzberg up to second.
Oh, and that's Thiago. Yeah, way out wide there. Or was that Norby's lap? No, Thiago comes across the line now behind Rio Michigami to go top.
Big lap off Montero.
Yeah, Montero fastest in the first and the third sector. Now, this is what we love to see, a footbox camera. Now, Monza, that's pretty much what you do for 75% of the lap. Right foot buried in the floor.
Yeah, you can see he's obviously one of the left foot braking exponents there. Probably coming from his single-seater days.
Yeah, karting, F1, yeah, flappy paddle gearboxes and left foot braking, definitely.
They're still shy of where I think they need to be, though, for a pole lap. It's a 1:53.2 at the moment.
Huffy didn't get a lap there, did he? Comes into the pits, and he is 1.68 off the pace in 12th. That is nowhere near where he wants to be.
Huffy's not got a problem there, because in the sweepstake, we've got him down there for...
You have, I haven't. We had Nestor Girolami and Ted Björk as the fastest two cars in free practice 2. And as they come across the line, Ted is 4th and Nestor Girolami 7th. Thiago Montero pushing on again, isn't he? And look, they've got the toe off Katzberg. Michigami's getting a toe off Katzberg. And Thiago is getting a bit of an extra benefit as well, because not only is he getting a tow from Ryo Michigami, he's also getting a little bit of the extra slipstreaming effect from the first car in that queue, the blue Volvo of Nicky Katzberg, who peels off towards the pit lane.
It's going to be faster again.
Katzberg's got a problem. He's third fastest, or maybe he hasn't. Thiago, again, another good lap, 52.9. We're still half a second away from the fastest lap in testing. Esteban Guerreri, 6/10 away in the first sector.
Montero, first driver to break the 1:53 barrier, though, so it's certainly set the bar for the others to follow.
Guerreri's car really writhing under his control. It's desperate not to do what he's telling it to do. Guerreri at the moment 14th. Oh, look at that, went away to 1.3 seconds away in the second sector. And that will leave him 11th at best if he doesn't lose any time to anybody else. I didn't see him in the lunch break. I really wanted to find out what he thought of his morning. Not an awful lot, I'm saying, plus four wheels over the white line there. Might disallow that lap. 1.8 away, 12th place, but ahead of Rob Huff.
He's not going to help him, Martin. He's working solo at the moment, and you do need a slipstream, and that's going to have been hurting him in that middle sector.
Volvo of Nicky Katzberg had the bonnet up when qualifying started. He didn't complete a fast lap, he went out, then he started a lap and then came in off the end of it. So the Volvo trio isn't a trio, it's just the duo. Now Nestor Girolami has just towed Ted Bjerg. My expectation would be that they're now going to have to rule Katzberg out of this. He's on his own. And so if Katzberg's out of it, then Bjerg will tow Girolami around next time. But at the moment, the best of the Volvos is only 5th.
Yeah, and Girolami's languishing down in 8th place at the moment. So
yeah. And the problem with, like, you know, 7th, 8th, that's neither fish nor fowl, is it? You're right in the middle of the group, whichever way you're looking at the grid, whether it's 10th down to 1st or 1st up to 10th for the opening race or the main race. 7th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th does nothing for you. You're always going to be right in the middle of the carnage. Rob Huff in the Citroen ahead of Tom Coronel in the Chevy. Coronel's gone fishing again, hasn't he? And this is Coronel's outlap.
He just turns up, doesn't he?
Yeah. we were having a chat with...
Set a quick lap, and he's there.
Lap 4 and 5 for car 86 disallowed. Esteban Guerreri running out too wide on the exit of the Parabolica, and everybody knows you can get more speed by going way outside the white line. Peter Huff growing a goatee since the last time we saw him. That's fast work. He'd be all right as a sailor, wouldn't he?
Hello, sailor.
Rob Huff moving on. Rob Huff in 13th position. This is his outlap, so he and Tom Coronel are now Huffy's having a first tilt, Coronel's going again. Go hard, go early for Tom Coronel. Again, at lunchtime, we were having a chat with Tom and Ronnie Hartfelt, who's the engineering director at Polestar Cyan Racing, and Tom was going, yeah, you guys must hate me, I'm the worst guy in qualifying because I always hook onto somebody. And Ron said, yeah, every briefing we're going, oh, hang on a minute, Coronel's only 2 garages behind us. And they were aware of that and sent their Volvos out behind the first group.
Now we need to see what first sector Huff can come up with. Coronel's not pulling any distance on him at the moment.
Here we go, down to the Rogia, and at the end of the first sector, 36.0. Well, that's only 2/10 quicker than Esteban Guerreri.
Oh, Coronel just sliding a bit.
Huff a 35.
Mid-corner there.
Huff a 36.0, Coronel a 35.9, so he did pick up time on Huff, got a 10th, but...
No, he loses it.
Yeah.
All undone. That's just going to scrub speed.
Yeah, all undone. John Philippi, all on his jack. Philippi 15th. Now, he was 10th at the end of first free practice, but Matt, the car was a lot livelier looking than that. I wonder if he's tried to control it and tighten it up a bit more. And as a result, is actually not getting the speed out of it because he's not flinging it around in quite the same way.
The two at the back end of the top 10 are Huffy, who's obviously in 12th at the moment, and also Michigami in the third factory Honda. He was right down there in free practice, and so those two are underperforming at the moment, and they are, you know, they could easily be in the top 5.
John Philippi coming to the line in 12th place. That's not going to help him much. Huff, fastest second sector of anyone. And at the line, what?
Back.
Goes top of the form. And Coronel could have been there as well, but for that big skate through Ascari, through the Roggia. Coronel gets pipped by Ted Björk, drops down to 7th place. Actually gets, everybody gets pushed down one by Huff, don't they? So Coronel now 7th. Kevin Gleeson, 16th place at the moment. 30-year-old American, rookie in the World Touring Cars. Raced here last year in TCR. They had free practice qualifying 2 races all in one day. So he's got a bit of experience here in Monza. This is his first time in the dry in this car. You were saying, Matt, earlier that the only testing he did was on the short circuit at Magny-Cours in the rain, which will have done nothing other than frustrate and or scare him a bit.
Well, it'll teach him to find out where the controls are for the heated screen and the wipers and the lights
yes,
and all the rest of it.
yes.
That's about as
Yeah.
which way the gears go and all the other sort of necessities.
1:55.238 on his first run in qualifying. I don't think he expects to move through into Q2. Esteban Guerreri will be at the tail of the field with him. Daniel Adge and John Philippi just in front.
Huffy's still hustling that car, isn't he? I mean, the impressive thing is Huffy's done this all on his own.
Yep.
No slipstream, no tow buddy. And he's certainly shot a big warning shot across the Volvos and the Hondas.
Now backing him up, 5th place at the moment, Mehdi Banani. So at the moment, there are 2 Hondas, 1 Volvo and 2 privately run Citroens in the top 5. Now we're a long way from the end of Q2. At the end of this period, in 5 minutes and under 20 seconds.
Oh, he's faster again.
Wow. We will separate the top 12 from the rest of the field to go through into Q2.
Okay, Rob, let's back it down then, look after the tyres.
Yeah, that set will now be a race set. Tom Coronel goes back in, he's in 7th place. So at the moment, Coronel is going through. Huff with 2 consecutive laps quicker than anybody else is. Only 1600ths of a second quicker than Thiago Montero. Norbert Mikulits has gone out again, as has Thiago. And the Volvos, now Nicky Katzberg's car is in the queue. Nestor Girolami, having been the engine at the front of the train last time round, he's now in the guards van, so he gets the double aero bubble, if you like, gets the toe off both cars in front.
Well, they need to work with him, Martin, because he is absolutely on the bubble.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit of shuffling, he could be out of this this Q1.
Well, Katzberg went 4th fastest on a lap that he did on his own as well. He's on a better lap, so is Björk, so is Girolami, so is Jan Erlache, who is in 10th place.
Who are my predictions for 1st and 10th? I rest my case. I love it when a plan comes together. I might win a Euro.
You might. Although we have another whole qualifying session still to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's definitely doable. Definitely doable. So here we go. Where does Katzberg pull out from Björk's slipstream? Not into the Parabolica. So Björk's going to lead them across the line.
It's going to be a strong lap for Girolami,
yeah. Look, 6,000s up on Huff's middle sector. In fact, it wasn't Huff that had the best middle sector, was it? He was best in 1st and 3rd. I think it was, I don't think it was Thiago either. It was Norby had the best middle sector. Björk fastest, Katzberg fastest, Girolami fastest. Volvo 1, 2, 3. Bang, bang, bang. By goes your Euro.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
Well, you know, work together. Work together.
Martin,
so now it's
Katzberg
leading Björk, and Girolami is backed off.
But that is a great wake-up call for Huffy. He's tried to do it on his own. Oh, here's the Hondas.
Yeah, here we go.
Working it out. The Huffy now, they should see that and realise that he's got to find someone to hook onto. Either the Hondas or... It's been a bit disjointed this first Q1, but he needs to get onto the back of the Hondas. The problem is, when he jumps on the back of them, they can see on a fast lap. they can easily slow up, do anything.
Except that ruins their fast lap. If you go out at the same time, nobody's going to do 2 warm-up laps. There's not enough time in 10 minutes. You can't be faffing about. So, yeah, Dominic Greiner at Munich Motorsport with Rob Huff needs to be very, very savvy about when they get him out. He's got to be on the back of a train somewhere. Even if it's only a train of 2, there's no question 2 cars go quicker than 1 on its own. Because with 1 car, look at the way birds fly, look at the way cyclists cycle in the peloton. You slipstream each other, the one behind does less work. That means your engine power goes further. Zoltan Zengo watching his car on a lap of its own. Aurelian Panis eased down to 13th place now. Daniel Nagy in the pits. But Aurelian Panis just did his best lap, 1:54.22. So what about the Hondas? They're on their warm-up lap now, aren't they? Nicky Katzberg coming back in. Yeah, that's not an aggressive lap, so he's heading back in. With a minute to go, Jan Elaché again ramping it over the curbs in the Variante Ascari.
Oh, he's trying hard, isn't he? He's just trying a bit too hard, maybe.
But he knows where it's going, doesn't he? You know, he's anticipating where it's going to go before he takes that bite of the curb, because he knows he needs it.
Well, no one can say he's not committed.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you what, not at all. Tom Chilton, 10th at the moment on the bubble.
That was a blinding lap from those Volvos, wasn't it?
Yep.
Wasn't Chilton your prediction for
reverse pole?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in there, isn't he? You know, I mean, you know, him, Bernani, Coronel.
He's just put on his lights there, and I mean, they do the lights, but it's almost pointless. And a lot of these TC1 cars have done the same thing. Their lights are so small and insignificant.
Yeah. Well, it's just, you know, ticking a box, isn't it? It's complying with the fact that they have a light.
Well, yeah, but then they want them for to show slower cars they're coming through.
I know.
Chilton trying to take the shortest route.
What
to 9th at the moment.
What drivers want and what engineers build into the car, as you know, are almost diametrically opposite.
Well, yes.
John Philippi on another quicker lap, trying to get in front of Aurelian Panis. Would that make him the top Frenchman? What am I missing? Not the top French speaker. No, Jan Elaché is ahead of him. And he's Alsatian. Yeah, we can definitely call him French, can't we? I'm sure we can.
That's quite it. Actually, you look at the top 10, it's quite a diverse mix of nationalities, isn't it?
Yeah.
Argentinian, Swede, Dutch, English, Portuguese, Argentinian, Hungarian, Moroccan,
English,
Dutch,
yeah. French, Japanese. Yeah. French. Oh no, Daniel Nagy, not French, Hungarian, and American. And did Rob Holland make World Touring Car starts?
I think he did in the Ford, didn't he?
Ooh. Now, did he race? I can't remember if he raced in Europe or if he raced at Sonoma.
When it was an S2000 car, was he in the Ford?
No, I think it was was it not with Arena?
Yeah.
Run another car? I can't remember.
No, he sort of brokered the deal for Arena cars, but then they went to out to China after that.
Yeah. Kevin Gleeson comes across the line 15th ahead of Daniel Nagy. So splitting the Zengo Motorsport cars. Zengo with 3 entries. That's one of their European Touring Car Championship or Touring Car Cup drivers. Zengo Motorsport. That was Anett Georgi, one of their 3 Hungarian drivers. Norbert Nagy returns with Zengo, and so does Zsolt Szabo.
Well, if we look at what we'd have predicted before we got here this weekend, we'd have said this is about what we got. The Volvo should be stronger.
Should be,
Hondas. Yeah. But after this morning's free practices, I was kind of hoping the Hondas were going to be really pressing on to. I mean,
yeah, it was all a bit Mercedes Ferrari this morning, wasn't it? It was the wrong way round. So now we're Are we now going to accuse Volvo of sandbagging?
Well, they're just playing the game, aren't they? They're just keeping the powder dry till when it matters.
They're very inward-looking, aren't they? They were doing what they wanted to do and not paying attention to what anybody else was doing, I don't think. Let's hear from Daniel Naj. He's with Alex.
Bit of a tricky qualifying session there for you, Danny. What was it like out there?
Yeah, we were expecting that kind of top speed problem that we have during the weekend. We realized that after FP2 we are so far away, so we did some testing session to Hungaroring because the next race week I'm gonna be there. So yeah, I was quite happy with my lap. Yeah, we are very, slow at the straights. We are running with an older engine than the other Hondas. So yeah, that's it. We're looking forward for the races. Maybe some wet conditions are coming or something like that. It would be great. That's all.
Well, okay. Count yourself, Daniel Naj, as the only man hoping for wet weather conditions here in Monza.
He's smiling. He's doing a good job. He's smiling about it.
On board with Nesta Girolami, the Argentine is the first of 3 Volvos being hotly pursued by 3 Hondas around the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. Matt Neal, the Volvos are out playing their game. In fact, all 3 Hondas aren't together. That does rather look as just one Castrol Honda has tried to latch onto the back of the Volvo train. I know the other 2 have followed out, but not in exactly team formation.
It's whether they're trying to lodge onto the back of the Volvo train, because obviously the Volvo's a bit more slippy a car, and maybe they're trying to just intimidate, rile them, get under their skin to let them know they're there, shadow them, see if they can push them into a mistake. Not there. Look who's turned up, Coronel.
Yeah, Norby and Tiago, the 2 red, white and green Castrol Hondas, and Coronel making up the 3 there.
It's going to be like the start of the race, this one is.
Well, and Rob Huff's in the queue behind. That's Tom Coronel in front, isn't it? So Rob Huff is like 7th in this queue, 8th in this queue, because there's
if Huffy could get a good tow, he will be down there with the Volvos.
Yeah. Well, he's going to get the slipstream, and behind him, Mehdi Benani is off all of this queue down the straight. Once they get up to speed, all these gaps are going to gradually come down and down and down and down and down as the cars further back down the queue. You ever watch an 80cc motorcycle race or a 125 race? That's what it's going to be like. You're just going to be hauled up from, the entire length of the straight back to be hoovered up.
I wonder how they've decided the running order for the Volvos and co, because obviously the guys at the back are going to get the stronger slipstream.
Yeah.
And this is get into the top 5. It's not going to, it's not going to be a small arse to get into the top 5 there.
Girolami is towing again. Don't forget he was towing first and then was on the back behind the trio. Katzberg's in the middle, so he gets the big tow this time, but Ted Björk is nowhere near as close as he should be.
Well, the first to have bolted, and Björk sort of missed the boat a bit, unless he's trying to give himself, he'll pick up a slipstream from that far back.
Yeah, but he's giving more of a tow away. Girolami might have to pull over before Ascari. Don't think Katzberg's going to get the full value of this, and Björk on his own drifted out wide on the exit of the Rogia.
Yeah, Katzberg's going to be losing front downforce.
Mate, he's too close, isn't he? When if he's still behind Girolami on the way down to the Parabolica, Girolami's going to have to let him go by, even if it kiboshes Girolami's lap a bit, because otherwise Katzberg's not going to make it round.
Yeah, he needs to do it before the Parabolica so he can get a good run.
Right, in the queue behind Björk, Thiago Monteiro, who's second in the queue behind Björk, the first and the second of Castrol Hondas, has just set the fastest first sector. Girolami, towing everybody around, has set the fastest second sector, and that's because Katzberg squirreled through the Rogia and made a bit of a Horlicks of that.
Oh, Michelet's out wide.
Yeah, 4 tyres off. His lap might not count. And then Huff, Coronel and Benani behind. So on aggregate at the moment, Girolami with the better lap. Is Ted Björk going to get enough of a tow to go in front of all of them? Not really from there, is he?
Doesn't look like
Girolami pulling the train along. Yes, Björk does get it. Even though Björk was kicking up the dust out of the Rogia, he goes faster. Norby 4th, Thiago on top.
Oh.
And that's what that queue of towers behind Björk got. What does Huff get? Huff goes 5th. Coronel doesn't get anything out of it. Bernani went quicker than Coronel. Norby goes 6th. Okay, that's why Tommy got nothing out of it. He had to straight line the chicane. Yikes, didn't see that. There's Pauline.
That's pretty close at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah. Listen, you know, you go fishing, don't you? Like Tom Coronel does. You go fishing. You try and hook onto the back of somebody. You got your grappling hook and your tow rope, and you lob it out and try and grab somebody as they go by and get them to drag you around to a quick lap.
22 hundredths of a second covering the top 6 cars.
Yep. That's what we like to see.
I'd be surprised Michelin could lose that lap as well. Oh, Montero just trying to bit too hard. Montero did VMAX. He's got the fastest speed in the straight now, whether it's from that slipstream from the Volvos or what, but they've definitely got that Honda wound up for him.
Definitely have. Mehdi Bernani was a little bit in the queue behind Tom and Coronel, so he sort of fell into a gap in the air behind Huff. Look at Huff's car bounce around under braking. The way that Bernani's is, Huff is really pedalling on again. He's top 5 at the moment. Don't forget, the fast 5 go through. And at the moment, Esteban Guerreri and Ryo Michigami is your opening race front row. Guerreri would be on pole. Jan Erlaché, Tom Coronel both in the pits. Erlaché has not had a run. Coronel has not completed a flying lap either.
Yeah, they're the front row for race 1 are currently 9 seconds off the pace.
Yeah. Oh, crikey, yeah, they are, aren't they? 9.1 and 9.4 off the pace. What? Well, there is Esteban Guerreri, who doesn't really need to improve, or doesn't want to improve much, maybe. He's in the slipstream behind who? Ryo Michigami, I'm guessing.
Well,
the Honda in front.
If Eilescher and Coronel don't get out the box, they're not, like, within a minute, they're not going to get round.
Right, Guerreri's accidentally bumped himself from pole from the opening race down to 3rd on the grid as he goes quicker than Michigami and Bernani. And Erlaché and Coronel, I don't think going to... Oh, OK, Coronel's left the pit lane. Erlaché, what's going on with him? Well, tyres going onto the Volvos. 62 Ted Björk, 63 Nicky Katzberg.
Coronel's out, so it looks like he is going to make it. Is that Erlaché?
Yeah, Erlaché is out of the pits as well, so
now both those, Bernani and the Michigami, are in danger now.
Has Erlaché got a misfire? Was that going...
I thought that was a pit lane speed limiter coming up.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
That's the Volvo's going out for another run.
Yeah, and Girolami's in late for a fresh set of rubber.
Well, Katzberg must be getting worried because he's on the bounce of the top 5.
Yep. Well, who's going to threaten them?
Michelitz.
Not Michigami, not Guerreri, not Erlaché, not Coronel. Yeah, Norby. Not Chilton or Bernani. Right. It's the Hondas or the Volvos and Huff.
Martin Michigami in free practice was down there with the times.
Well, I know. But at the moment, he's Billy No Mates.
It's just not working for him.
No. And look, he's bailed out of that lap as well, and there's only 1:40 to go. So he's got time to get to the line, but who's he going to hook up with? He's got no pals out there at all at the moment. He's fallen off the Honda wagon. Esteban Guerreri is doing another lap on his own. First sector quicker than his best, second sector not. Is this an improvement? Guerreri pushing himself further away from the front. No, he stays 8th. Michigami still on pole for the opening race. Where's Michigami gone? Into the pits?
Yeah, I think he's...
Well, it's not showing yet, pit in now, finally showing on our timing screen.
Guerreri half a second off his best lap there, so...
Yeah. Well, now he's nothing to... Well, he could start another lap, but I don't see he's going to get much out of it. Minute to go till the checkered flag comes out, so still anybody who's...
right, this is Tiago, this is Jas using Tiago to give Norby...
Try and tow Norby back in, because Norby, as you can see, is in 6th, not in 5th. So they've got to bump a Volvo or a Huff.
And if Tiago's the only one in the top 5, he could get properly beaten up by the Volvos in the race if they start working as a team together.
Yep.
It's Huffy's the stranger in the wood pile, isn't it?
Now, this can't be the outlap because there's only 25 seconds until the checkered flag comes out. So this had better be a quick one from Norbert Mikulec, but it's not. It's black. It's not even a personal best.
No, I think they've timed it wrong, Martin.
Yeah,
they're going for
they've
the
blown
lap.
it. They've blown it. Come in, boys. Your time's up. Checkered flag will be out before you get to the line. So Norby is out of Q3. He'll be no better than 6th. Checkered flag is out. Really? What was going on with that? Coronel, no better lap. This is his...
Well,
nothing going on here. First sector, it's black. It's not even green.
He needs to be 1.5 at the end of the lap in to get to the top 10.
He's already 7/10 out, 1.2 out. Okay, that's a better second sector. That's his best second sector. So this time, he didn't mess up the Rogier. That's the difference there.
I don't think he's going to do it because the guys there have used a slipstream to get down to the parabolica and back. It's possible.
Right, where's his... 53.978 is the time to beat Rio Michigami. Coronel's first was a 55.1.
Not over the white line.
No, enough. This could be pole position for the opening race. Where is he going to end up? Oh, 9th place, front row start. And that pushes Benani onto 10th position. And is there anybody else on the lap? Only Nicky Katsberg. Well done, Tommy.
Good lap for
Dug the cheese out of the fire. See what I did there? With the Billy Whiz sticker on his helmet. And this is the Benani garage. They're waiting to see if Mehdi Benani is going to stay there or not. Can Nicky Katsberg beat him? There's Benani. Our top 5 going through then. Ted Björk, Thiago Montero, Nicky Katsberg, Nestor Girolami, and first out will be Rob Huff. So missing the boat, 6th is Norbert Mikulec, who will start in 4th place in the opening race. 7th, Tom Chilton, who will start 3rd. 5th, Norby, 4th, Tom Chilton. 8th place in the main race and 3rd on the grid in the opening race, Esteban Guerrieri. 9th for the main race and 2nd for the opening race, Mehdi Benani. 10th for the main race and pole position for the opening race. The man you're looking at now, Tom Coronel. Some nice little celebration, slightly belatedly for King's Day. So both the Chevys will start 1st and 3rd in the opening race. That's good for Coronel. Guerrieri sits behind him into the first corner. They could just ease the others out onto the outside line. Well, I think this will be a relatively happy Tom Coronel, and the lap was a good one, as we saw in the Parabolica. Aldo Prio, the team boss.
Exciting one. Ging heel lekker. Was wel spannend.
It was spannend indeed. Very exciting bit of qualifying right at the end.
Yeah, it was difficult. I was playing safe. I was okay.
There's Norby. Well, let's hear from Tom Coronel. Alex Le Guy is with the DHL pole sitter for the opening race here in Monza.
Smiles all round for this gentleman here. Tom Coronel, you are poleman for our opening race.
Oh, very happy. You know, this was, I think, the goal we had. I made a big mistake when I was behind Thiago. Big oversteers. Oh, I'm in trouble now. And then the last run I had to do completely alone, no slipstreaming, nothing. So I was playing safe, especially in the first corner. Tommy, come on, if you play too safe, you're not in the top 10. And yeah, finally we did. So very happy with the result. This is what we wanted, and this is where I always aim for. I know I cannot be completely in front, so these are our chances. But here it's very easy to overtake. It's different than in Marrakesh or Villarreal, those kind of things. But, you know, the moment of fame is ours, at least for the first race.
Elbows wide.
Thank you.
So Tom Coronel, Dutchman on pole position. There's a very happy-looking Yvan Muller. I'm going to have to continually re-point you out to him. Justine Monnier. Justine and their daughter not here this weekend. They're, in fact, off with Peppa Pig. Peppa Pig's big in France, who knew? And I'm sure that makes Yvan Daddy Pig. Don't you think? Matt knows of what I speak, don't you? And anybody with children under the age of, what, 15 probably knows all about Peppa Pig.
My daughter's actually grown out of Peppa Pig now, and I quite miss it.
I do too, yeah. Milkshake, you know, miss all that. Rob Holland did buy Arena's cars, never raced them in World Touring Cars, took them off to Touring Cars in China. Another little stat, little factette from Neil Hudson of Touring Car Times. This is only the second race weekend in World Touring Car Championship history when there have been no Italian drivers in the field. Marrakesh being the first.
Well, it was originally born out of the Italian Championship, wasn't it?
So originally born out of European Touring.
Which was born out of the Italian Championship.
And I mean, and especially when we came here to Monza, do you remember Scuderia Giro Sud and Scuderia, what was the Italian for sunflower, Tournesol or whatever? Yeah, I mean, there was, you know, Roberto Colciagos and all those guys. There'd be a dozen random Italians when we came here, not random, a dozen extra Italians when we came here to Monza.
Yeah, Larini, Giovanardi.
Second weekend ever, none, not one, not even Gabriele Tarquini. He hasn't retired, by the way, Tarquini. For those of you not up with things, he is testing a new touring car on behalf of Hyundai, who are entering the touring car fray. Not coming World Touring Cars, they've got a TCR Challenger on the way. So we might see that in a year or two in the European Touring Car Cup, who knows? Well, Rob Huff will be first out in Q3, and that is our individual single lap shootout. He was 5th fastest in Q2, but all of that is scratched. You get a fresh set of tyres, and you get to go once more in Q3. And these laps will decide the order 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the opening race and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the grid in the main race.
Well, it's a level playing field as well now, Martin, because there's no slipstream, no working with your teammates, so it's every man for himself.
Well, we know that Huffy was fastest individually, wasn't he, before the Volvos went out and did their hoovering each other along competition. The question is, can he produce it here again? Double race winner, the only former winner here in the field. I'm reliably informed. Who else has won here? Yvan Muller many times, Rob Huff, Andy Preur, Gabriele Tarquini. Yvan Muller still more times, Tarquini again. Jordi Genet won here for Seat in 2007. Augusto Farfus, Dirk Muller, and Jimmy T. Jimmy T won in an Alpha in the first year we were here, and Augusto won race 2 in an Alpha in the second year we were here. Well, there were a few Alphas in the field in those days. Q3 underway here at the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. We're just north of the industrial heartland of the Italian motor industry and many others, and of course the fashion industry as well in Milano. Alfa Romeo famously based in the city.
Puff's a seasoned exponent around here. He knows what to do. He's had pressure of the races. He's come away with the results. So he'd be a good man to put your money on.
Hasn't won a race here since 2011. So in the hope of ending a 6-year drought in Monza, in fairness, only 2 of those years, 12 and 13, did we actually come here.
Citroën is the strong package, but it is the car still carrying the most weight at the moment, so.
And were he to get on pole here, it would be the first ever Citroën pole in Monza, and indeed in Italy.
Sure, everything's there. getting his head straight.
And you don't have to worry about putting too much heat into the tyres, presumably on a track like this, because it's got so much long, cooling straight line running as well.
Well, he'll start pushing it hard outside the Variante and then on the way down to the Parabolica, because obviously the exit speed out the Parabolica is going to be super, super critical. And then your first trial of the brakes is going to be into T1 chicane, so and that can make or break your lap.
Mate, imagine what this place was like when you were qualifying in the turbo era Formula One. Wastegate wired shut, so you've gone from 600 horsepower in free practice to 900 or north. Well, even the shonky cars, even a Zaxpeed was going from 600 to 900. The BMW's going for like 850, 900 to 14, for who knows, nobody knew. And a qualifying tyre that might not even last the lap. And you come honking down here at north of 200 miles an hour, and guess where you might be able to risk braking.
Yeah.
So into the first chicane, and that first right-hand element, so slow. I mean, you hear the tyres squealing because they're turning so hard at such a slow speed. Curva Grande, or the Variante di Biasone, which is the village just outside.
10 kilometres down on what the Hondas were doing in there. That's...
Yeah.
Is that where he needs to be? Is that a...
Little fluff there into the gravel, not a wide run out of the Variante della Roggia into Lesmo 1. And you have to treat these two as one corner. The exit of one leads you into the entry of two. And that is the critical one. Look how neat he was on the exit there. Making sure didn't... I guarantee exit of Lesmo 2, exit of Ascari and exit of Parabolica are the ones they're watching for track limits.
Yeah, he's using every inch he's legally allowed to get away with.
Yeah. Rides the curbs. Oh, nicely, look at that. Only the inside wheels were actually in the ditch and not over the curb. Down the Rettifilio and into the braking zone for the Parabolica, down 3 gears, into third. Ooh.
Keep inside the white line.
Yikes, didn't get up to the curb on the inside, maybe he didn't want to. Yes, neatly inside the white line. Very nice looking lap from Rob Huff. Where will this leave him on our main race grid? A 52.968. Well, that's still half a second away from the 52.444 that he set in testing here, well over a month ago, 5-6 weeks ago now. But Huff was fastest on his own before everybody got into slipstreaming mode in qualifying.
And it's no mistake, you've only got one hit,
Yeah.
Martin. So he's done it, he's got it bagged, and he's now got to wait for the others to make or break.
And Nesta Girolami is a rookie here. He's never raced here before. Look at the focus, look at the eyes.
Let's get the VMAX into first chicane. Oh, but look very solid under brakes.
Yeah. It's a little bit like the Chevrolet, isn't it? It's a really stable-looking platform. 250, exactly 250 kilometers an hour into the braking zone at the end of the front straight. The end of the back straight, as you're going into the Parabolica, that's the quicker part of the circuit. Then they're 263, 4. Oh, pitches it in. Oh, over the curbs. Okay.
I lost the brake point the second chicane, so sorry.
Okay, he's got to keep pushing, even if they don't discount the lap.
No, I think they will discount the lap, Martin.
Yeah, they will, but he's still got to keep pushing, just in case they don't. And that's what they're telling him.
But I got the chicane.
Yeah, push. There might be 3 others that cut the chicane.
But then they'll all get turfed out and they go to the top.
No, they won't, because they're in the top 5. So they will be in the top 5.
Yeah, but they get put to the back of the top 5 on their time from the previous session, don't they?
No, it'll be on their times here.
Not if they've cut the course, because how many?
Well, if
one
there's
straight
4
line
of
the
if there's
chicane.
yeah, okay, if there's 4 of them, well, okay, so he might be 4th. But even so, keep pushing, you never know. I mean, he did have a big back out after he cut the corner because he knew he'd done it. But you've just got to keep going and see what happens later. Okay, you know, we know the Never Never Land of the stewards room and everything else, but if you haven't got a time, if you haven't set a quick time, then they can't give it to you if they decide not to exclude you. And unfortunately, he did have a big lift.
You were the fastest on sector 1. Let's check.
Second of our Volvo drivers to tilt for pole will be Nicky Katsberg. Nestor Girolami was fastest of all into in the first sector, so that ends just as you're getting off the gas and hard onto the brakes for the Roger. And that means, therefore, that he was getting to the Roger faster than he'd ever been in the Roger before, with less fuel, fresher tyres, and just miscalculated it.
Katsberg managed to blow it in qualifying at Marrakesh. That sort of depicted the rest of his weekend. So he's made it into the top 5 well. Let's see if he can get a good clear lap. But the problem for Katsberg is he knows Bjork's coming after him.
Yep.
So he's got to give it everything and some.
Yep. So around Curva Grande, and just as they come back into sight, the end of the first timing sector is about where the tarmac is. There, 2400's up, but it's not about Huff or Girolami.
He got away with that.
Yeah, but he couldn't really pick up the throttle early, could he? So the second sector will be down, surely, against Huff.
No, Martin, he had big mid-corner speed. Oh, he was over the white line.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to complain too much at the exit of Lesmo 1. Exit of Lesmo 2, ooh, all 4 wheels off at exit of Lesmo 2.
Just take it easy and collect yourself.
You know, and that's where Huff's lap was so good. It was quick, but it was legal. No question, surely about Huff's lap.
You have 2 purple sectors, you have 2 purple sectors.
He doesn't have,
So much mistake.
he doesn't have 2 purple sectors. Not on
I
our
can't
time
believe he's
screen.
talking on an absolute
Yeah.
one-lap flyer. It's got to be
Well, there's
disturbing his
yeah,
concentration.
but there's plenty of time to think on the straights. Our timing screen shows him green in the second sector. He is ahead of Huff, but now he's not 45 thousandths.
Wow.
Wow. Well, you saw.
Okay, you're P2 400 behind us. 400 behind us.
But you are realizing.
Wow, 2 to go. Drama racking up nicely here in Monza.
Huff must be getting quietly excited now. We don't know what the Civic is going to be like, the Type R, in its own air.
Well, listen,
Dragging its own air.
the worst for Rob Huff now is that he'll finish 3rd fastest. So he'll be on row 2 for the main race. And there's every opportunity he might end
You
up
could
on the
see
front row.
The corner of his mouth starting to creep up.
Yeah. Honestly, I think he perhaps fears Thiago more than Ted Björk. Thiago was fastest in first practice, didn't use a toe to set that lap. And I don't think he used a toe to set his quick lap in second free practice, which was also quicker than Rob.
He's nice and neat through there, isn't he?
Yeah.
To get the power down.
Not too much, though, not too much.
Yeah, 5K up for Montero, so much for the
Wow.
lack of grunt or the slipstream of the
Yeah, but he's still accelerating.
bar. Oh, look at that.
He's still accelerating at that stage, so that is not his top speed, but you're right. And when it was top speed at the end of the back straight, he still had 263, didn't he? He was still quicker than anyone else.
Yeah, I think Huffy better start praying for a mistake here.
Yeah. Ted Björk is heading out on his warm-up lap as Thiago is on his flyer. And
I think we're looking for a strong second sector.
yeah,
Now.
if he's purple in the second sector, then Huffy is on row 2, I reckon. Oh,
lost a bit. And Huffy was strong in sector 3.
He's 1100 slower than Huff in sector 2. Oh, 4 wheels off. Exit of the Variante Ascari. I think he disappeared from shot outside the white line.
He was airborne coming off that curb.
Oh, there's going to be a bit of toing and froing in the stewards' room later, isn't there? I don't know if that was one of the corners that they were looking at, but you would expect it to be. Same as the exit of the Parabolica. Wow, interesting line.
Oh.
Took it really tight. 1400s in front of Rob Huff.
P1, Thiago! Bravo, Thiago, bravo. P1. 110, 110. Yeah, but George missing. George is still missing, yeah?
Oh, you can't give him pole with that. You can't. That wasn't even marginal. That was way out there. Final charge. Can we come back here next week? Final charge for pole position for the main race here in Italy, which will be round 4 of the FIA World Touring Car Championship. Ted Björk, the fastest man in Q2. Can he be fastest here in Q3? This is not about tactics, teammates or slipstreaming. This is mano a mano, as they don't say in Italy.
Yeah, in football terms, from looking the strongest up to now, Volvo scored 1 home goal, 1 draw.
Listen, let's go to football terms. He is the last man of 5 to take the penalty in the World Cup final, isn't he? I mean, that's the pressure. He's the last man. Never mind who scored and who got saved.
Up, Martin, and that was Montero's big strength. Was
by a whisker. By a whisker.
17 thousandths, and he's super neat.
Yeah, he's legal.
Would this be Ted Björk's first pole? Oh, I think it would, wouldn't it? Oh, Mr. Statistician.
I'm looking at my piece of paper here.
I think it would.
Yeah, I think it would.
He's been on form all day. Here we go, next big test. Oh, second sector.
Wow, he's gone from 17 thousandths to 4100ths up. Look at the smiles in the Volvo camp. Exit is good, it is legal. Now he's just got to clear the final hurdle. He's coming down to Beecher's Brook for the last time. The Parabolica awaits. Wow, how wide is that track in his focus as he's trying to feel his way in?
He looks, that thing's just on rails.
Third gear, lets it run out very wide. No, that's good, only 2 wheels out there. That's really good. Oh! Ooh, now that's going to be a video replay, isn't it? He will come across the line fastest of all, but will he be allowed to keep it? Wow, at the moment it's Ted Björk, Thiago Montero and Rob Huff. And you heard the stadium announcer here, it's like he's just scored the winner for Italy.
Few straight faces in the Honda garage now.
Well,
it could be a tit for tat. You know, Thiago going over one line and...
Yeah, and then Rob gets pole.
Ted, yeah, well, I did predict that.
You did. Not beyond the bounds of possibility. Need to have a look at that
I think
final run.
Bjork's
Yeah.
It was minimal.
Yep.
But they were disallowing times in free practicing.
Yep.
And
especially in the Parabolica.
Q1 for exactly that.
Yep.
And that amount. So
again, as we always say, the stewards' room is a bit of a Neverland where you're never quite sure what's going to happen. If Armball are there in the centre of the shot on the right-hand side. And there is Thiago Montero. Leslie's going to start on the front row, possibly. I'm not sure. Let's take a look now at Ted Björk's exit of the Parabolica. He's good here. This is nice and neat. Ted Björk at the moment with the fastest time. And we will assume that he will be our pole man unless the stewards decide otherwise. Thiago Monteiro, second fastest. But a lap that he may not keep either. Ted Björk heading back into the pit lane. Cars go into Parc Fermé and then will be examined by the scrutineers to make sure they are all legal, honest and truthful. Let's take a look. Exit of the Parabolica. Matt, you the jury.
Well, I'm sure the Honda squad are going to be watching this and analyse it. He sort of gets onto that green and that starts the car to slide. You think he's made it, but then he starts to just drift wide again. Oh, I think he's got two. I think he's got two wheels in.
He had to turn to get the
He
rear
might be
back
on the line, but I think he's got two wheels in.
He didn't have two in because the right rear was definitely outside the white line.
I think he was on the line.
No, not even remotely.
There was chalk dust. As
That's,
Ron McEnroe
that's
used to
not
say.
you being the jury.
No, I'm, all fair in love and war. I think it was close, but he got it. It was a major lap.
Yeah, it was a good lap.
It was a major lap.
It was a good lap. No question. I mean, you know, we saw that there was a bit of a mistake, but from Nesta Girolami, but otherwise, where's Girolami gone, by the way, from that top 8?
Well, he'd be fifth,
Down
wouldn't
to,
he?
they've already disqualified his lap. He's gone down to 16th. So Nesta Girolami starts last.
No. He has to start fifth.
That's what it says on the timing screen.
It does, but